High above the city of Granada, perched on the Sabica Hill, rise the reddish walls of a fortress and palace complex. It dominates the landscape. It is a complex tapestry of history and art woven from earth, water, and human ingenuity. This is the Alhambra, a site that has witnessed centuries of power shifts, cultural exchange, and breathtaking artistic achievement. It is unlike any other place in the world. Its name, Alhambra, echoes through history. It derives from the Arabic phrase al-Hamra, pronounced al-Ham-Rah, meaning the red one. This isn't just a poetic description. It refers directly to the distinctive color of the walls, built using rammed earth from the local clay, which is rich in iron oxide. Even its name is rooted in the very ground it occupies. The story begins long before the famous Nasrid dynasty. Foundations suggest ancient structures existed here. A fortress certainly stood on the hill by the 9th century. And later, the Zirids, who were rulers of the Taifa of Granada in the 11th century, had a citadel nearby. By 1238, Muhammad I, Ibn al-Amr, the first Nasrid emir, chose this strategic spot. He began building a new residence and citadel, laying the groundwork for the complex we see today. Under the Nasrids, particularly during the 14th century reigns of Yusuf I and Muhammad V, the Alhambra transformed dramatically. It evolved from a military outpost into a sprawling, self-contained city. Inside these walls, one would find everything needed for royal life: mosques, public baths, houses, workshops, and even a tannery. It was a miniature metropolis designed for both defense and luxurious living. Crucially, this transformation depended entirely on water. The Nasrids engineered a sophisticated system, bringing water from the Sierra Nevada mountains miles away. This wasn't just for drinking or hygiene. The water fed ornate fountains, reflective pools, and cooling channels throughout the palaces and gardens. It was the lifeblood of the complex, integral to its beauty and survival. At the heart of the Alhambra lie the Nasrid palaces. These are a series of interconnected structures, each with its own function and character. From the administrative mekshwar, pronounced Miasachwar, where the Sultan handled state affairs, one moves eastward through increasingly private and lavish spaces. These palaces are not grand from the outside. Their splendor is revealed within, oriented around serene courtyards. Consider the Comer's Palace, built around the tranquil court of the Myrtles. A long, rectangular pool reflects the sky, and the imposing Comer's Tower at its northern end. Inside that tower is the Hall of Ambassadors, a vast, square chamber. Here, the Sultan held audience under a stunning wooden dome. This was a complex geometric marvel representing the seven heavens. This room provided panoramic views. It served as an amplified viewpoint, or mirador, pronounced mirador, for contemplation and power. Adjacent is the Palace of the Lions, perhaps the most iconic section. Its central courtyard features an unusual arcade of slender columns, and at its heart is the famous fountain supported by 12 stylized marble lions. The halls surrounding this courtyard showcase the pinnacle of Nasrid artistry. This includes the intricate, carved muqarnas, pronounced Muqarnas, domes that seem to defy gravity, appearing like carved stalactites. An example is in the Hall of the Two Sisters. Every surface tells a story. Walls were sheathed in vibrant tile mosaics below and intricately carved stucco above. These weren't just pretty patterns. They featured complex geometric designs, delicate vegetal arabesques, and everywhere Arabic inscriptions. These weren't simple labels. They included verses from the Quran, poems composed by court poets specifically for these rooms, and the repeated Nasrid motto, "There is no victor but God." Imagine the Alhambra in its prime. While today we see mostly muted tones, the stucco carvings, wooden ceilings, and marble details were originally painted in vivid colors. These included reds, blues, golds, and greens. The inscriptions, often painted gold or silver, would have shimmered. This made the walls literally come alive with light, color, and meaning. It was a far more dazzling and immersive experience than the one we perceive today. Beyond the palaces, the Alhambra functioned like a small city. The Alcazaba, pronounced Al-Qaziyahba, the oldest part, was a military fortress. It had towers, residential areas for guards, and even dungeons. Within the wider walls, historical maps show streets, houses, and functional buildings now largely gone or altered. The design carefully separated the royal, administrative, and military zones, each with its own access and purpose. A pivotal moment arrived in 1492 with the Christian conquest. The last Nasrid sultan surrendered Granada without a fight, and the Catholic monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, made the Alhambra their court. It was within these walls, in the Hall of Ambassadors, that they met with Christopher Columbus, and they gave their endorsement for his famous voyage across the Atlantic. The decree expelling Jews from Spain was also signed here, marking a stark shift in the region's history. The Christian era brought change. Charles V, grandson of Ferdinand and Isabella, decided to build a grand new palace. It was in the Renaissance style and placed directly in the heart of the Nasrid complex. Designed by Pedro Machuca, pronounced Machuca, who studied in Italy, it was a massive square structure with a perfectly circular courtyard. This was a stark visual contrast to the introspective, human-scaled Nasrid architecture. Though never fully completed, it stands as a powerful symbol of the new imperial order. Centuries of neglect followed. The site fell into disrepair, occupied by squatters. Then, during the Peninsular War in the early 1800s, French troops occupied the Alhambra. They caused significant damage, even attempting to blow up the entire complex upon their retreat. Only the quick actions of a Spanish soldier, disabling fuses, saved much of what remained. But this period of ruin also sparked a new interest. European travelers and writers, captivated by the romantic ideal of decay and the exotic, began visiting. Washington Irving, the American author, lived in the Alhambra in the early 1830s and wrote his book, Tales of the Alhambra *. Published in 1832, his work ignited international fascination and brought the site back into the global consciousness. This renewed attention led to serious restoration efforts, though initially approaches varied. Some 19th-century architects followed a stylistic restoration. They added elements they thought looked Moorish, sometimes inaccurately. It wasn't until the early 20th century, under figures like Leopoldo Torres Balbás, pronounced Leopoldo Torres Balbás, that a more scientific approach took hold. This approach focused on preservation and accurate reconstruction based on archaeological evidence. Adjacent to the Alhambra, separated by a ravine, lies the Generalife, pronounced Generalife. This wasn't a palace of state but a country estate. It was a summer retreat for the Nasrid rulers. Its name, potentially meaning Garden of the Architect, hints at its focus. It featured beautiful terraced gardens and courtyards. Most famously, the Patio de la Acequia, pronounced Patio de la Acequia, with its long water channel and jets, offered a cooler, more relaxed escape from the main citadel. Today, the Alhambra stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is a testament to a remarkable period in history and a peak of Islamic art and architecture in the West. Its influence extends far beyond its walls, inspiring architects for centuries in various styles. These range from the Saudians in Morocco to the Moorish revival across Europe and America. It even fascinated mathematician M.C. Escher with its intricate tessellations. This proved its complex patterns hold secrets that cross disciplines and time. From its reddish walls rising from the hill to the hidden, vibrant beauty within its courtyards and halls, the Alhambra is more than just a collection of buildings. It's a narrative etched in plaster, tile, and stone. It's a story of power, beauty, engineering, and cultural shifts that continues to captivate everyone who walks its paths.